What's going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with the toy room, and happy new year. So first off, let me just say, if you guys didn't see my short yesterday, I just want to recap in this video and say thank you. We had an amazing 2022. We're right under 15,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. So I have a feeling we'll be hitting that pretty soon, which is pretty crazy because I never thought that, you know, I would have 15,000 subscribers, and the fact that 15,000 people are interested in watching me and the content I make in this room and everything is actually pretty crazy. But today we're finally here. I've been gone for about 2 months and it's been taking me a while. I've been very busy with work and working 2 jobs and everything, but I'm back. I'm in full effect and we are now here for an updated room tour. I've been working on this room for the last couple weeks, organizing things, putting things on display, fixing things that have fallen over, things like that. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the brand new room tour for January 2023, which is crazy to think that we're in 2023 right now. And I'm not gonna go like super in depth with every single shelf because I have countless videos doing that. But I am going to point out either some of the highlights on shelves or some things that I moved around that are different from the last room tour, or even some of the last updates that I've done. And with all that out of the way, I think that's it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the room tour, the toy room tour for January 2023. Alright guys, so we're going to start right here, obviously with the doorway, the entrance of the room. Just a couple things to go over here. I have this wooden hoverboard Back to the Future sign. I have the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening poster here. I always say that I put this poster here because Legend of Zelda, you're going on an adventure, so you're kind of leaving this room to go out into an adventure in the world. I don't know, it's kind of silly, but I have that there. And then I moved my Spider-Man sign up and put this Avatar wooden frame that used to be over here on the Avatar shelf that is now over here on the wall, just to save myself some space. And I have this brand new Avatar calendar that my sister-in-law got me, so shout out to you, Christy, if you're watching this, which I doubt. And then just a bunch of other random posters here that I've had before, and my step stool and chair that I keep handy for whenever I need that I'm working on the room, or, you know, whatever the case may be. Now coming over this way, we're going to start right up top here, and this is going to lead into my Fast and the Furious collection, which is pretty much unchanged other than the Nano Scenes Toretto house. Everything else is pretty much identical as far as all the cars and everything, so it's nothing new. So I'm not going to spend too much time on them, but I will pan through them really quickly just in case you guys are new here. But I have countless videos on all of this stuff that is up here. So panning through the cars, as you can see, and then that leads into some random Ninja Turtle party wagons, as well as this comic from Islands of Adventure. So that is really cool. It was like a day one opening comic book. I got off eBay for not too expensive, and then I have the X-Men Tiger handheld re-release, Smash Bros poster, and then just a bunch of other random big things that didn't really fit anywhere else right there in the background. And while we are on the topic of Fast and the Furious, I just want to go over to this pile over here really quickly. So I had the room completely clean, but I have like last minute Christmas presents that I got literally last night, and some other stuff, and even like this that I picked up today that I just didn't have time to incorporate anywhere. But this is the brand new Lego Speed Champions Fast and the Furious Nissan Skyline. This is Brian's Nissan Skyline from the opening scene of Too Fast, Too Furious. So very excited to have this. Can't wait to build it, and I'm probably just gonna stick it somewhere right over there on that shelf. But yeah, that just was released this morning on January 1st, so I had to be there to pick it up. Moving over to my Back to the Future shelf, and this is the point in the video where I'm gonna bring out the flash on my phone, just because the lighting from my fan kind of sucks over this way. So let me just bring in the lighting, and here we go. So this is the Back to the Future shelf. It has remained pretty much unchanged. I'm just looking for anything that's different. The only thing that's different is I've had that Universal cup right back there. This is Back to the Future the ride, but I added this one here. It's kind of hard to see, but it has the DeLorean right back there. So I added that cup. I think that's the only thing new. And then speaking of DeLoreans, this is my basically DeLorean shelf, and pretty much everything here is unchanged, I believe. Nothing has really moved around that I can see anywhere. So we have that right there, and then that comes down into my Jurassic Park shelf, which again is pretty much unchanged for the moment. I don't think this will ever change unless they make more of the Ford Explorer, because I just can't get enough of that. But yeah, other than that, you got some VHS poking out back there as well. That is pretty much unchanged. Now this shelf already existed, but I had this shelf here, and I had this Rocky shelf, or this 80s theme shelf I should say, up here. So it actually made more sense to swap them, so that's what I did. So I moved the Toys R Us shelf from here to here, and then the Rocky or 80s theme shelf from there to down there, because it just worked better with the other shelf that I have down there. So we'll start here with the Toys R Us / Target shelf. Now I've told this story many times before, but Toys R Us was the first job that I ever had, and it's what pretty much got me into collecting toys in the first place. So it holds a special place in my heart, you know, for that, and just obviously the nostalgia factor of Toys R Us growing up as a kid. And then Target is my second job that I have at the moment. So I'm also kind of nostalgic for Target. I guess not really nostalgic, but like I have a spot for Target because I work there and I love working there. So I made a Target and Toys R Us shelf, as you can see, and also included the FAO Schwarz Toy Soldier in here, just because, little fun fact, Toys R Us used to own FAO Schwarz, but then when they went out of business, I don't know if Target bought them, but Target has definitely been partnering with them. So yeah, it kind of just works out that I have Toys R Us and Target, so I threw FAO Schwarz on there because why not? And then moving down over here, this is my 80s themed shelf. So it's basically a lot of Rocky, but you do also have the Ghostbusters back there, as well as Rambo and RoboCop and a couple other figures and VHSs, just kind of as a little decorative piece right there in the background. So the only thing that's changed is I got this Mr. T Hulk Hogan WWE figure. That is the only difference. Everything else is unchanged. The only difference being that I moved it from this shelf up here, like I mentioned before, to this shelf down here. And that's because it just works better with this shelf down here, which is a bunch of random NECA figures, but it's primarily Gremlins. And Gremlins is also an 80s movie, so, you know, why not? But then you have a bunch of other just random NECA figures that I didn't have a spot for, so they all just kind of ended up on this shelf right down here. So moving over this way, this is probably my favorite shelf, and that is my Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra Funko Pops. And nothing on this shelf has changed, but I still just love this shelf so much, one of my favorite displays. And then down here, actually a little bit has changed, not too much. The pops themselves remain the same, but the background has changed. So I added the Fisher-Price box set of Little People figures right there to the background. Ideally, I would have liked to put it on this shelf, since this is a hero shelf and this is a villain shelf, but I have to work with the space that I have right now. So that went over there, and then I kind of moved the Blu-ray box sets over here to the side, as well as that dice set right over there. And then this shelf changed a lot because I picked up a ton of Avatar figures in the last couple months. So yeah, this whole shelf is basically completely reworked, and you know, just a bunch of different figures added from McFarlane, Diamond Select, just a lot of Avatar figures coming out. So yeah, very happy about that. And like I said, just a ton of figures in here. So hopefully everybody stays standing up. They are standing up at the moment, but I had an issue the other day where I set this shelf up and somebody went tumbling over and knocked everybody else down. Anyways, moving on here, this is my Stormtrooper shelf, which is another favorite shelf of mine. I just love the way all the different variations of Stormtroopers all look together. It's a shame that I do not collect Star Wars Black Series figures anymore, because I would love to just expand on this display. But this is all of the Stormtroopers and variations of Stormtroopers from the Star Wars Black Series, from probably like the first 5 years or so of existence of the Black Series line, but like I said, I just gave up with that line. And then the next two shelves are also Star Wars Black Series, and they are just a mixture of different heroes and villains. These are the more important heroes and villains on this shelf, so just kind of quick pan through right there and do that one more time. And then this is the lesser important figures, like variations of Darth Vader and just other, you know, variations of figures as we kind of get in there. And also some Star Wars VHS in the background and some other really cool backdrops and whatnot on all of the shelves. So moving on to the Turtle shelf, this one has remained unchanged from my last video. However, I do have the part 2 version of the Turtles from The Secret of the Ooze. I have that box set right down there, so I do need to open those 4 turtles and put them on display. I just didn't have time to get around to it for this video, but it wasn't gonna make this shelf that much different. It was just gonna be another 4 turtles added to the shelf. I don't really have like an organization to any of these. Like this top shelf, I tried to make it mostly all like heroes, and then try and make, you know, these shelves mostly villains, but I think there are a few heroes sprinkled in here and there just because I kind of ran out of space. But yeah, this is a mixture of the cartoon line of Turtles as well as the movie line of Turtles. So really big Turtles fan. I love what NECA's doing, and I've been pretty much able to find every single box set of the Turtles that I've ever wanted to find. The only one I think I'm missing at the moment is the Neutrino set, but I had it pre-ordered, and who did they send me? I pre-ordered it and they sent me somebody else. I can't remember, but it wasn't through Neutrino, so I had to actually like return my order. I can't remember who in the world they sent me, but I know they didn't send me the 3-pack of Neutrinos. Target screwed up when they shipped it to me, which I'm very upset about because I haven't been able to find the Neutrinos yet, but I know I will at some point in time, so I'm not too worried about it. And then again, this is just a continuation of all of the different Turtles characters. Just so many characters, so many awesome, unique designs, and I really love everything that NECA has done with the Turtles line, specifically the cartoon figures. I feel like they've gotten a lot more love. I think we do need a little bit more love for the movie Turtles. And sorry, my phone just vibrated, so let me actually, I forgot to put it on silent. There we go. So that's done right now. Anyways, moving on from Turtles, we have my World of Nintendo shelf. Again, this is unchanged, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it's all of my Nintendo figures, all World of Nintendo. So this is the Mario shelf here. These are all Mario figures. And then the shelf underneath is going to be kind of like my Smash Brothers shelf. It's all the other Nintendo properties, and I even have that Smash Bros poster there. And I also added my Kingdom Hearts figures from Diamond Select in there because they are part of the Smash universe now, so it worked out. And then this bottom shelf literally is just like a random assortment of like just 90s little toys, or 90s early 2000s. So yeah, not really much organization on that shelf at the moment, but eventually there will be. And moving over to Power Rangers, this shelf has remained unchanged from what I can see. Yeah, this is all the same, so again, not going to spend too much time on it, but this is like my season 1 version of Power Rangers with the Green Ranger, except I have the White Ranger here. I have to explain this every time. I have the White Ranger on this shelf because I don't have the green SH Figuarts Ranger, and I just wanted to keep all the SH Figuarts figures together, so that's why I have the White Ranger right over there. But other than that, everything else is exactly the same. But sad news about Jason David Frank. Rest in peace. Man, that news hit me hard. Yeah, it's still, even to this day, it's like, it's hard to believe that he's not here with us anymore. But moving on, this is my Power Rangers movie shelf. Not too much has changed here. I did move this bottle of ooze right there just to make it more visible, because before it was kind of hidden behind some of these figures. And I did take my Legacy Movie Morpher. This is Tommy's Movie Morpher, and I kind of just put it there in the background, moved the VHS to the side so you can see the spine. And I now have all of the Lightning Collection movie figures here with all of the appropriate head sculpts on them. And then the rest of all my different movie figures, from, you know, the Funko Pops and just regular action figures as well. And Ivan Ooze right over there. Even the McDonald's Happy Meal toy right there. That's the re-release, not the original release. So yeah, that is that shelf. Then moving down to my Red Ranger shelf, the only thing that's different on this shelf is I added my custom selfie series figure of myself, if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. So yeah, it kind of looks like me. I did a full review on this figure, so if you guys want to check that out, definitely, you know, check it out. But yeah, there we go. That's the only difference, is I added him to my Red Ranger shelf. Then moving down over here to my villain shelf, nothing has changed with my Power Rangers villain shelf, so there's that. And then same with all these other shelves down here. Nothing has changed, but just a quick pan through. I think I might have added the VHSs in the background. I don't know if those were there last time. But yeah, just a quick pan through of all the different Power Rangers figures that I own. And here as well. So there we go. Oh, okay. And now I'm gonna come back up this way. That's gonna lead me to some bigger Black Series stuff, like vehicles mostly. So I just have these up here for the time being. And then my Megazord, so I have the Legacy Titanus, Legacy Ninja Zord, as well as the movie Megazord. What is it? The Thunder Zord and the Ninja Zord, that's what they're called. This one is the Thunder Zord, that's the Ninja Zord right there. And those are both the Bandai Legacy editions, as well as the Black and Gold Legacy edition and the OG 1990 Megazord Black and Gold peeking out back there. And then the Legacy Dragon Zord and this vinyl here. It's not like Funko or anything. I forgot the company that makes it, but it's a Black and Gold Alpha eating the color of the Power Rangers right there. And then my Legacy Red Ranger helmet and a couple of random Funko Pops. I really need to figure something out to do with these shelves, because just having these two Funko Pops here is kind of like wasted space. All right, so moving on from the Power Ranger shelf, we're gonna move over this way to my Pinocchio poster, which is nothing new, but I do have this really cool brand new Blacklight poster, and this is a Doctor Strange Funko Pop Blacklight poster I got on clearance at Target just a couple weeks ago, and I have another one to match over there, the Spider-Man one, we'll take a look at in a little bit. But yeah, this is really cool, and it looks sick at night as well. And then we just have this giant random Tommy Pickles thing that I found at the thrift, as well as my Pixar basketball and my basketball trash can. Moving over here, we have my Lego DeLorean, only because it's too big to fit anywhere else, so it's sitting right here on top of my Xbox Series X mini fridge. As you can see, lights are all on. Looks better at nighttime. And then I finally was able to find another Luigi figure from Cars, and was able to actually get him on display and fill up the hole that I've had here for the longest. So this looks so much better now. I'm not like a big collector of the Pixar Cars series of stuff, but I love Fiats because I used to own a Fiat. So I collect all the Luigi cars that I can, at least, because he is a Fiat. So I have those over there. And then I have like other Fiats up here, which we'll get to in a second. But then I also have like these really cool collabs of like, this was a end credit scene in the original Cars movie. So yeah, little Easter eggs right there. So just my little miniature Pixar Cars collection right over there. Finally looks good now that I don't have an empty hole over there. Moving down over this way, we have my miniature arcades. So nothing too special about these. You can find these at Walmart. And then my Oculus Quest next to the Xbox mini fridge, and my Samsung GX TV. And the movie of the day is going to be D2 Mighty Ducks. There's something wrong with this specific VHS. I don't know if you guys can see, it kind of has like a blue tint to it. It's not the TV itself, it's just the VHS. I think there's something wrong with that particular copy that I have. Anyways, I have my Pac-Man Lite over here, which you'll see why in a second. And then my other two GameCubes that are over here. That's the black and the silver one. I have another GameCube over here, which again we'll get there when we get there. And then these are all my different handheld devices, from Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, SPs, 3DSs, even original like iPods and Motorola Razrs, and my mess of wires over there. And then the VHS player, original Model 1 Sega Genesis, and then a couple of other random consoles that I didn't have a home for, so they're sitting right there for right now. And man, there's nothing like throwing on an old VHS on a CRT and just letting it run in the background. There's something so nostalgia about that. Alright, so let's turn the flash off on my phone for right now, and you will see probably one of the biggest changes I have over here. So before, I had the Marvel Superheroes arcade 1-up cabinet right over there. I had Pac-Man over here, and then I had Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that I picked up kind of sitting in this empty space over here because I didn't have anywhere to put it. So what I did was I got rid of my Marvel Superheroes cabinet. It is no longer in this room. I gave it to my brother for his birthday, and what I did was I took Pac-Man from over here and put it over here, and I took Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and put it over here. I would have liked to put Marvel vs. Capcom 2 over here side by side with Street Fighter, but the shapes of the cabinets are so different that it just didn't look right to me. The Pac-Man shape is a little bit different as well, but it's very similar to the original Street Fighter cabinet, so I felt like that looked a little bit better there. Plus, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is going to be the cabinet that I get the most use out of when people come over and play it and stuff. So all we have to do is pull this chair out of the way, and we have this big open area dedicated strictly to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and we don't have to, like, you know, be crowded up in this corner over here with, you know, the TV over here and just all the other stuff in the way. So I felt like just having the big open space for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was the best way to go. So Pac-Man took the place of Marvel Superheroes. So there you go. And then I have my original Street Fighter as well as my Final Fight arcade 1-up cabs. And then up here are my Pokemon Funko Pops. Nothing has changed. I'm just future-proofing this space. It's empty for a reason. Just inevitably, when they make all 151 Gen 1 Pokemon, I already have the space lined up for them. So that's why they are there. And then just taking up space in the meantime is my Fiat collection. So I have my Lego Fiat, as well as just a bunch of other die casts and whatnot, Hot Wheels and other generic things. And then that comes down to my Gran Turismo Hot Wheels. So you got that right there. My JBL Pulse 3 speaker, which I still absolutely love. This thing is awesome. And then this is my video game collection. Not much has changed here other than I got a stack of games that I need to add to this list. But if you're curious what those games are, just check out my Black Friday haul. I think it's everything from the Black Friday haul is down there. But yeah, there's my games. I got roughly 600 and something games, almost 700 I got over there, and then a continuation on over here. And then over here is my VHS collection. So yeah, ever-growing VHS collection. I already maxed this shelf out, but I love VHS. There's nothing like seeing that artwork on the spine. There's something so much more nostalgic and just awesome about seeing this big spine versus seeing like a little spine like this from like a DVD or something. As you can see, all of those are Blu-rays and DVDs there, and they all just kind of blend in. But when you have these really big spines over here, it just looks so much better. Anyways, just a bunch of other random like Nintendo figures, artwork, Kirby Target promotional bag, Kobe Bryant's jersey, because I love Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. This jersey will forever be hung up in my collection. I have a Fresh Prince air freshener, as well as a Dikembe Mutombo Headliners basketball figure that I actually meant to relocate right in this area over here, and I just forgot to do that. But that leads into all of my primarily Michael Jordan Funko Pops, but it also leads into like my celebrities as well. So this first half is all Michael Jordan, that eventually leads into, let's see how close of a look I can get. There we go. So Michael Jordan, that eventually leads into Mighty Ducks, which shout out to Mighty Ducks. I'm rocking the shirt today. Got it playing in the background. I love me some Mighty Ducks. But yeah, it leads into Mighty Ducks, and then just a bunch of other random like celebrities, Biggie Smalls. I got pretty much all the Biggie Funko Pops, Tupac, Aaliyah, Mariah Carey, and so on and so forth. And then let me just back out of here without falling over. And then that comes down to my Toy Story collection. Mostly Toy Story. Kind of like Pixar, really, not just Toy Story, but it's kind of mostly Toy Story because it is the aliens from Toy Story dressed up as other Pixar characters. So take it how you want it. Pixar, Toy Story, whatever it is, that whole collection is over here. I got Monsters at Work, which was a great series on Disney Plus. And yeah, just a bunch of other random like figures and whatnot from the mainly Toy Story, but also just Pixar universe. And then I also have some Fiat diecast cars hanging on the wall over here, because I used to have Fiats on display on these shelves over here. Now coming over this way, before we get over here, let's just get over here to my chairs. These are really awesome leather recliners that I got off of Amazon, what, 2-3 years ago. They're still holding up, but the ironic thing is this is the one that I use all the time because I sit here. This one barely gets used, and this one is like more worn out than this one. So I feel like it's one of those things where the leather or like the fake leather stays healthier the more that you use it, because you'll see here like the arm has started tearing over here, but literally like nobody ever sits here. So like I don't even know how in the world that happened, because this chair barely gets used, and this chair gets used almost on a daily basis when I'm in here. You can see like the indentation that I left here, and that one doesn't even have one. So that's the only weird thing going on with that. But I also have my Aladdin Magic Carpet rug, which I got from Target a few years ago, and I'm glad I picked it up. I'm just going to bring the light in so you guys can see better. I'm glad that I picked it up because you can't find this anywhere anymore. So very happy about that. And then I have just my coffee table, which with a bunch of like different coasters and reading materials down here, strategy guides and other random books. And then over here we have my Monopoly, my glass Monopoly. This is like a fully functional Monopoly board. It's just a special edition that's made out of glass. And I just thought it made a really cool centerpiece, so that's why that is there. And then we are here at my command center with my 55-inch Sony OLED TV. If you guys have not gotten an OLED TV in your life, definitely do that, because OLED, I'll never go back to a regular TV after having OLED. The colors on there are so bright and vibrant, it's insane. And then I just have all of my other consoles all hooked up, ready to go at a moment's notice. So you have original NES, Super Nintendo, GameCube with the screen, Nintendo Wii Mini, OG Xbox, Fat PS2, Fat PS3, PS4 Pro Spider-Man Edition, Nintendo Switch Mario Edition, Xbox One Day 1 Edition, and Xbox One X. And then I have all of my mini consoles over here. So you have the NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis Model 1 and 2, PS5, and then the PS1 Mini. All of my mini consoles are hacked, and I have a ton of games on all of them. And then I have my surround sound system. So I have speakers over here, subwoofer over there, soundbar over here, and then my LED lighting that goes all the way across. It basically goes from behind this shelf over here throughout the TV unit, and then snakes around there, and then also comes up here. It's kind of hard to see now because it's daytime out, but follow me on Instagram if you want to see how everything looks at night. So moving on over this way, we're almost done. The last kind of section of the room over here. So we have my NBA 2K20 GameStop promotional poster. This is Dwayne Wade, my favorite player of all time. Well, Michael Jordan and him, but I have a more connection to him because I grew up watching him. So in that aspect, he's my favorite player. So I got that poster right there. and then a couple other VHS tapes over here that are the kind of like slipcover design and not the actual like clamshell like you have over there. And then just a bunch of other retro stuff. I got like Michael Jackson, a bunch of like different retro Happy Meal bags and boxes, the pumpkin Happy Meal from this year. I have this Crash Bandicoot energy drink that's based off the Wampa fruit, which is actually pretty crazy. I don't drink, but I just love the design, this like 90s throwback design on this bottle. So I saw my brother drinking it. I took the bottle from him one day and kept it. And then I have my old, or my dad's old, I should say, Blockbuster membership card, which is crazy. And then just a bunch of other random stuff. So Pokemon figures, let me bring the light in now. So yeah, a bunch of other just random like Pokemon figures and Pokemon items, a stationery set, the movie soundtrack, Happy Meal toys, and then this is just kind of a mix of stuff. So now over here I have Sony stuff, so Crash Bandicoot, God of War, Tekken, Spyro, Twisted Metal, and then that comes down here to my Sega Genesis Sonic Mania statue, as well as some other Sonic figures, my Sega Genesis controller, NES Lego set, Sonic Pez dispenser, this Little Tykes CRT TV, Shaq Fu, Arizona Iced Tea, Furby, N64 promotional box, Crystal Pepsi. This promotional box is actually extremely rare. You don't really see any of those around, so I'm very lucky to have that in my collection. And coming over here, we also have my Star Wars like metal posters here from episode 4 and 5, and then just this random setup of controllers that I have displayed over here, as well as this one of my Switch lights over here. I got a couple others in the other room in the house, but yeah, so right over there. And then my Space Jam collection with the Funko Pops. So just take a brief pan through that. So a bunch of Funko Pops, Space Jam VHS, Michael Jordan. These are the Aqua 8's Jordan card, and then the Space Jam soundtrack. And then this is my Xbox collection of games, original Xbox 360, Xbox One, as well as just a bunch of other stuff like Sega Genesis, PC, and then albums, like CD albums, music albums over here. And then Hot Wheels, all my Hot Wheels organized by color. So black, silver, white, and then it does the color of the rainbow. Again, not gonna go through each and everything, but I'll just kind of pan through it really quickly for anyone who is interested. And I'm sure they are a little dusty, so bear with me, but here we go. So yeah, just a bunch of different Hot Wheels. There we go. Again, just a quick pan through everything. And you will notice that like the stuff that I have on display in the background, I tried to match the cars to kind of give it the same like color scheme. So there we go. And just kind of squeeze into this corner over here. Alright, and then my movie collection, which doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, all DVDs and Blu-rays right over there. So that's gonna come to the last section over here. I'm gonna save this for last. We're gonna start up here with my Funko Pops, and there you go. So this is half Marvel and then just half other random Funko Pops that didn't really have a spot, but yeah, they're all right over here. And then I also have some legacy stuff on display just to kind of fill up holes in the meantime. But I have like legacy stuff, I don't know if you guys can really tell, like lining the whole wall over there because I had nowhere else to put them. And then these are my premium Hot Wheels that I just have to fit perfectly on this little space of wall right over there. And this Toys R Us bag. Now that leads me back over to this section, and this is my Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade cabinet, which I love. This is hands down my favorite cabinet that I can possibly own. It looks great. It plays great for the most part. There's a couple issues. I haven't played it in a few months, to be honest, so I don't know if they've ironed out any of the issues. But yeah, just having this here, man, I never thought I'd see the day where we have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with the lit marquee. That just looks amazing. And then I had some Spider-Man posters here, and they're still there. They're actually underneath this blacklight poster, just because it was kind of a hassle to try and take them all down. So I just put the blacklight poster over it because how awesome, how sick is this artwork on the blacklight poster? What I love about it is not only does it look good like without the blacklight, it looks good with the blacklight too. So like the colors really pop right now, and then when I have the blacklight on, they pop even more. So I just felt like it worked perfect. It kind of gives that old like neon arcade feel, right? You know, over Marvel vs. Capcom, Spider-Man's part of Marvel, and I have Marvel up here. So I felt like that all worked really, really well. And yeah. And it's all. This is also like a charging hub that I have over here as well. That's powering obviously the arcade. It's also powering my LEDs, and then whatever I want to charge at the moment is charging right up there. So that is the room. That was a lot to go through. I tried to breeze through it as quickly as possible, but that is the updated room tour for January 2023. All right, you guys, so that's gonna do it. That is the room tour for January 2023. This was a long video, I'm sure. I don't think it was as long as some of my other room tours. Again, I try not to cover things too much in detail that I've gone over in past videos. I just want to cover more so the updates and things that are new and things that I've moved around or whatever. But if you guys stuck around this long in the video, thank you. I appreciate you, and I would also appreciate if you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and stay tuned for more videos. It's 2023. We're almost at 15,000 subscribers. I'm not working 2 jobs anymore, so I am focused. I'm going to be pumping out more videos, and I want to know from you guys, what videos do you want to see? What type of videos do you want to see from me? Are more Arcade1Up videos, more room tours, whatever it is, let me know down in the comments below. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. As always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.